Thank you for staying here on JoyNews today. Earlier today, we went back to where the AshFoam warehouse at Avenor was razed to the ground by fire Monday. The fire, which started at about 8:45 Monday night, burned down properties running into thousands of cedis.
I'm currently at AshFoam, and as I was told, the curing room was rather razed down by fire yesterday. And I have the marketing communications manager here with me, Mr. Yao Ampim Dako. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
Were you here yesterday when the incident happened?
Yes, immediately we had a fire outbreak. We all rushed down here, to help with trying to put it down in various ways, yeah.
Okay, so what caused it?
At this stage, it's really difficult to ascertain. So the fire service, which is the main actor of this, are in charge of it, and they have even accorded the place, and they have started the investigations. As at now, it will be really, really difficult to come out with what exactly happened, on the day. Yeah. So
has the National Fire Service said anything to you so far?
No, so far no. Last night, we left here early this morning. When they left one of their cars here just to see to it that after fire nothing comes up. But all they said to us that the investigation is going to carry on early morning. And in fact, just as we're speaking, they've started trying to ascertain what exactly occurred. And very soon, as I indicated to you earlier on, we're going to have our press conference, and whatever comes out there, we will let the public know.
Okay, so I can see the workers all over. I believe my cameraman can pan and then take a shot of them. Is the some affected? What's going to happen to them?
No, they are not affected at all. Apparently, we are working full time today. It shows you that the fire came, but just a smaller section of unit of the factory that was affected. So the bulk of the factory, when you look at the production line, when you look at all the other departments where the foam mattresses are made, everywhere is intact, and we are starting work. You can see rather they are enthusiastic, because it would have been the other story if everything had been gutted down.
Okay, so can you put an amount to what have been destroyed so far?
Well, it is again I would want to also say that it is still a difficult thing to do now, but we can say this, that fire happened this way, and then there are three I can say areas that you can look at. We look at the product that is burnt off, which we're going to look at how much by the time of the investigation. We look at the factory, because some part of the factory has been raised down, and then we look at even the opportunity cost, because it definitely is going to distort a section of our production. And then also you see in the mindset of people, they might think that, well, fire came out, AshFoam is gone down, and then we are not going to, they might find it even believing to come and do business with us. But us as a company, we are assuring them, and it is evident that we are working. It is evident that we have our production on course, we have our distribution ready, so anybody who has any supplies will be supplied today and the days ahead.
Okay, so I have Mr. Same Ahene here with me, and he was actually here when the fire started. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
So can you tell me exactly what happened?
Yeah, when I got in here, the fire had already started. Yeah, so I had to help my colleagues, because a lot of guys had come from their various homes when they got the message, and they were in here helping. So we just had to help first. So that's what we're basically doing.
Okay, so that was around what time?
I got in here around 7:30.
Okay, do you suspect any foul play?
No, for now, no.
Do you feel your job is being threatened?
My job? No. AshFoam is a solid company, and provision has been made for everything. So, my job is intact.
Let's spend some more time on fires, because charging your phones or laptops on your bed or any kind of foam is a recipe for a fire disaster. That's according to the Ghana National Fire Service. The comment comes following two major fire outbreaks at Avenor in Accra and at the Kumasi Central Market in the Ashanti region. Speaking with me earlier on News Desk, the Public Relations Officer of the service, Prince Billy Anaglate, said Ghanaians must be careful when managing electrical gadgets.
For a very long time could even start the ignition on that. So it is something that we need to handle with care, especially when it is actually bare, that it do not have any rubber covering or any material covering, but it is just the foam there. Because certain temperature can easily start to ignite that level of it. If you look at the Kumasi fire, because of the highly flammable substance like turpentine and all that, that was how the truck that was on fire, just due to radiation, the heat sources, that was how the shop beneath the story building was forced to catch up with the fire. So we need to be careful how we handle those highly flammable substances.
Mr. Naglate, you said something that I want to get some details on. Charging your phone, putting it on your bed. You know, sometimes it gets hot, it gets warm, using your laptop on your bed. That's a recipe for disaster, is it?
Very, very. In the sense that every combustible material has the level at which it will begin burning. We have the ignition temperatures or the ambient temperature at which all those things will start burning. They varies. So with the beddings, with the materials and all other things that we have, some of them because of the silk, because of the cotton, we were talking about the mattress, you know, all those pieces of it could easily reduce their ignition temperature to the barest minimum. So with the phone that you are charging in, the heat that is even produced, and with the radioactive, you know, elements, you know, those ones are also heat sources. They can easily ignite wherever you live. It happens severally that just that people say, oh, they are charging, they even drop their phones on their armchairs and all that, only to come back to see fire in their homes. So those things we need to put them on. At least if it is a phone that you are charging, then it should be on a table where you don't have any highly combustible material like linen or rubber or cloth that or those things in there. So we also advise that even your laptop should not be charged while it's on your bed. It is even wrong for people to do that.
Mr. Naglate also said although the fire statistics for the first quarter of this year are alarming, it's a slight improvement on last year's.
First quarter, yes, if you look at it in isolation, it is alarming that the first quarter of this year we have 1,455 fire outbreaks, of which half of this number is by domestic fires. So domestic fires always outnumber the rest of the nature of fires that we have. But if you compare the 1,455 to last year, the same period, where we have a reduction in that, then we know that yes, we are doing something. But this will be a worrying situation to you and everybody, because the fire service are putting several measures to ensure that at least if we not to eradicate some of these fires within this period, we should not be talking about 1,000 fire outbreaks, but that is what we have. So what is wrong? What is actually not, you know, are we not doing right that we should still have these fires? Yes, my investigation again points to the public that there is absolutely nothing that I keep saying that the fire service will do to prevent the fires if the public that fail to complement the effort of the fire service. Why we are here today, we are only talking about fires here. I might see few things that I would say could be a very good recipe for fire breaks within your premises, but I will walk out of this place. But you are here 24/7 until you are able to correct those things, to rectify those anomalies that within your place. Yes, the fires will occur.
Away from fires, let's talk about Galamsey. The Forestry Service is asking for military and police assistance to curb the influx of illegal miners in forest reserves in the Ashanti region. Officials say the situation has reached uncontrolled levels as destruction of river bodies and aquatic life, as well as plants, worsen. In this special feature, Inshira FM's Ohiming Teria takes a look at activities of illegal miners in some forest reserves and how forestry officials are struggling to deal with them.
Water bodies which serve as the only source of drinking water for communities in Amansia Central and West, Achimangwebeja, Avenor North districts, among others, have been polluted. Forestry officials are overwhelmed by the invasion of reserves by illegal miners who have mounted several chamfine machines a Chinese technology on Abuabo, Ofin and other streams.
Galamsey activities in Ashanti region inside forest reserves is quite widespread. It's not only in the Oda forest, even in the Oda, it's not only at one place. It's spread around us. It's the entire forest reserve in different areas. And apart from the Oda River Forest Reserve, we have other forest reserves in the region, notably the Apamprama Forest Reserve, the Supuma Forest Reserve, the Subin Shelter Belt Forest Reserve, all in the Bekwai area. And we have the Siri Forest Reserve around Tepa area. We have Asinayon, we have Tanofing, we have Mirasa, we have Prakol Forest Reserves, all of them in Ashanti region.
The Chamfai comes with 2 engines, one that powers the entire system and another that pumps water from and discharges waste into the stream. About 50 of the machines, manned by at least 4 men, sit on the Odan River within the Odan Forest Reserve in the Amasia Central District. The once colorless stream now looks milky as the sound of Chamfai continuously rams across the river. Efforts by forestry officials to clamp down on the miners have been unsuccessful as they outwit personnel by swimming in the muddied water to escape. Pursuing them comes with a cost to the Bekwai District Forestry Office, especially as there are no life jackets, while small canoes are used to pursue the illegal miners. Professional divers carry forestry officials on the back to be able to reach the other side of the river in pursuit of the miners.
Because, we are foresters and we are not professional divers and swimmers. So as soon as you come and they chance on you, they just dive into the water. So like I told you, our strategy has been to get professional divers and swimmers like you are seeing just now to get us onto the river body so that we can, get access to the machines and burn them.
Nonetheless, officials persevered until they managed to set about 20 of the Chamfai machines ablaze. Assistant District Manager at Bekwai Forestry Office, Emmanuel Japon Donko, is overwhelmed by the development. He says about 4 kilometers of the forest has been destroyed.
There are a lot of destruction caused to the of that forest reserve. The river course was not as wide as we see it, but as you can see, they have widened the course of the river because the mineral resources are within the river banks. So what they do is that they get to, take the soils from the river bank and wash, widening the course of the river. And if you look at the coloring of the river, they have done a lot of pollution to the river. And these banks of the river is habitat for some of the trees and the animals. So we are losing all these diverse form of species.
According to Mr. Ejapon, it will take police military intervention to flush out all illegal miners from the area.
You have a lot of trees, falling down because of the activities of these or illegal miners. And looking at the coloring of the river too, they've caused a lot of pollution to the river body. And again, when we were coming, a lot of us were feeling thirsty, and at first we were not bringing sachet water, but now we'd have to carry sachet water to the bush before we can get water to drink. All our water bodies are polluted, so they've done a lot of great damage to the water body.
A distance from the river bank is Abruchiri, a small community whose inhabitants hitherto prided itself as farmers. These wooden shells house illegal miners, mostly from Volta and Bono Ahafo regions. Akwasianto, a native of Yeji Kojobofo, owns one of the wooden homes here. Akwasi had abandoned a less paid masonry and farming ventures to engage in Galamsey. He has no immediate plans to give up the lucrative Galamsey business, having acquired a boat at 5,000 Ghana cedis. He tells me he raised the money in 3 weeks.
First,
I was a farmer before I left to do some masonry work, but things were hard, so I moved on to Galamsey.
Farming doesn't pay. It's more of a promise and fail thing because it's rain fed and the rains are not reliable. Someone has been farming for ages but has nothing to show for it. Not even 2,000 Ghana cedis. As for the river, we destroyed long ago.
The activities of illegal miners are peculiar not only to the Oda Reserve. The Rapid Response Team of the Forestry Commission cannot handle this alone. Isaac Noble-Eshen is the Assistant Regional Director of the Forestry Services Division.
In the past, we've arrested illegal miners, both Ghanaians and foreigners. And when we hand them over to the prosecuting agencies, we are mostly not happy with the outcome. So we would want the police especially to step up their prosecutorial role. That is the way they can assist us as a commission to deal with this menace, and the judiciary to also apply the relevant punitive measures as stated by law.
Well, we'll take you to Akwatia shortly, where some illegal miners are threatening to vote out President Akufo-Addo if he goes ahead in his fight against Galamsey. But let's talk about salt now, because residents of Pedakope in the Volta region are up in arms against Indian salt mining firm 7 Seas for what they say are activities of the company that have put their lives on the line. The company has been mining salt in the area for more than 5 years and has been blamed for the drying up of several sources of water and the extinction of many coconut trees. JoyNews' Volta region correspondent Ivy Setaji has been to the community to find out more.
These villagers have come to the last well that still has water. Pedakope is one of 13 communities in the Avenor Basin where salt mining is rife. Now, the mining of that resource is having its toll.
Even drinking water here is hard to come by. Our children can't bath before going to school. Water to wash is now a luxury. We are praying for the rains. Water is life. I've been up since 3 a.m., but all the wells are empty.
And their wells, they say, is a resource of 7 Seas, an India salt mining company which began mining salt in commercial quantities, taking over much of the land previously owned by local artisanal salt miners. Once upon a time, this whole stretch was a thriving lagoon with aquatic life where locals could come and mine salt. But now, it's a pale shadow of its former self. In its place, dry lands and unbearable heat. The company involved in this says it has employed more than 600 people, but community members here say their livelihoods have now been put on the line.
2015, it's 90,000. 90 cedis.
In 2015, we sold a bag of salt for 90 cedis. Business has gone bad now. We sell it for 30 cedis. Even that is on credit. It's all because of the activities of this company. And when we complain, they brutalize us.
Agitations between the town folks and the company has sometimes gone violent. One person was killed recently as a result of the clash. Some still live with gunshot wounds.
everybody in this community has a portion, has a traditional relationship with that, with a piece of portion in that land. And so, if it is true that mining of salt is governed by Mining Act requires that if you enter into somebody's property for the purpose of mining, but the law also requires for compensations to be paid to the people, to the individuals who owns those traditional lands. The people are not given, or were not given, compensations. The people are deprived of their daily activities.
Company turned down our request for an interview. Instead, they told us off record, quote, "We won't speak. We can't be judges in our own court. A petition has been sent to the president. We want to wait for his response," unquote. Now people here are waiting for solution, as livelihoods are involved. Time not on their side. Ivy Satoji, Joy News, Pejakope.
Let's go back to the issue of Galamsey. Some illegal miners in Akwatia are vowing to vote out the Akufo-Addo-led government should it go ahead to wage its much talked about war against Galamsey. Their comments come on the back of government's commitment to clamp down on the practice. Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources Benito Wusubio, who is on a tour of the Diamond City, Akwatia, ahead of an international inspection team set to visit Ghana to review the country's exploration and sale of the natural resource, rehashed the commitment. Some traders who were present at the Belgium market in Akwatia were displeased, stating Galamsey is their only source of livelihood. Hence, they will remove from office any government that attempts to stop the menace. My colleague, who is on the tour with the Minister, Maxwell Akbaba, is on the phone with updates. Hello, Maxwell.
Yeah, hello, Bennett.
So what is the conclusion of this conversation? Because what we get is that this was an interaction between government and these miners.
Okay, so Bennett, the minister was at the Belgium market in Akwatia today, basically to wrap up his tour of Akwatia. And he was specifically at the diamond market because the international inspection team that will be visiting the country will be visiting that market as well to check if the people trading in the diamonds have the necessary certificates and ID cards to deal in the business. So today he visited the place to see for himself before the team arrives on the 17th of March. But of course, some issues regarding Galamsey, as you rightly stated, came up. Some of the minister actually, first of all, rehashed government commitment to clamp down on the menace. In fact, the deputy minister in charge of lands and natural resources means no words in making that statement clear to some of the sellers there at the market that some of them were not too enthused and excited about what the minister said. Some of them said they would lose their livelihoods if government should go ahead and then clamp down on the practice. There was a gentleman who boldly stated without any fear that he is an illegal miner, and in fact, where he used to mine the gold previously, they actually put up a school for that particular community. All is not gloomy as we are saying, according to him, Bennett.
All right, Maxwell, let me put you on hold and hear one of them speak now.
Okay.
Galamsey niyaye edia peja party na fi opposition edia aba power Galamsey niyaye peja MPP party na 8 years no more opposition no mumbisa honorable minister ni say tama omo opposition no tuni na si Akwatia ada bisa me pa school down half a bu amu jiji yeska yen Galamsey for ne kan wo bom ye jiji ska e na yen ye bo school down so e si school down be bia bu le ma e paint school down me your friend Tornado biso bia me can that out yan to aba my MPP aban yan ku yan ho say omumra na omumegu adwuma so omu say omegu Galamsey a omu say adwuma omugu na yan koye adwuma ben na omu de ba adwuma ben.
Well, so that's one young man, Maxwell. We just heard him and he reiterated what you said, the fact that they actually had to contribute to complete a school block. And he also says that, well, Galamsey is what they use in bringing the MPP back to power. But tell us, the ministry has put an ultimatum, given an ultimatum to these illegal miners. They've told them to get off the land and out of the waters. You are in Akwetia. Are you seeing any signs that these miners are actually leaving the sites?
Well, Bennett, the one indication, yesterday we visited a great consolidated Diamond Limited. We visited their land. They are legal, miners, so they are doing something good on their land. But in fact, when we were heading to their mining concession, you should see that Brim River for yourself, Bennett. The hitherto beautiful river has now turned brownish, and you can really see how the activities of this illegal miners is wreaking, havoc on the environment. In fact, yesterday when we were at the district assembly, I had interactions with the acting coordinating director, and he told me that Akwetia is experiencing, a surge in HIV-related cases. He said, there's teenage pregnancy abounds in Akwetia because of galamsey. In fact, he also stated that sometimes the pits are not covered, and these places become breeding places for mosquitoes.
So, Maxwell, sorry to cut in. Are we seeing signs that these people are leaving the galamsey sites?
Well, yesterday when I had interactions with the minister, he told me that they had intelligence as of yesterday morning that about 50 earth-moving machines and then excavators are leaving Prestia. They said the intelligence informed them that they saw those excavators and earth-moving machines on the Prestia road. And he says, the minister says, it's an indication that those people are complying with the ultimatum that they are giving them. So they are still waiting for the 3-week ultimatum to elapse. If that deadline, if we get to that deadline, then they will move in with a joint military and police task force to clamp down on the practice. But back to the Belgian market. The minister has been reacting to some of the things that some of these sellers are saying. In fact, he's stuck to the unwavering commitment of government to clamp down on the practice. But he says that they'll make sure they provide alternatives for people who will be out of the job.
All right. Thank you very much, Maxwell Agbagba, my colleague, coming to us from Akwetia. The conversation about galamsey continues on all our social media platforms. You can join the campaign with the hashtag No to Galamsey. Away from galamsey, the 13 members of vigilante group Delta Force who escaped from custody after being remanded by a Kumasi Circuit Court have been fined 200 penalty units each. They will also sign a bond of good behavior for a period of 6 months. Presiding Judge Akomensa ruled that in default, they will serve 3 years in prison. They pleaded guilty to the charges of assault on a public officer causing unlawful damage, rioting, and conspiracy to commit crime. The accused persons have been sent to prison custody pending payment of the fine imposed by the Circuit Court. Muhammad Nuruddin was in court for JoyNews. Hello, Nuruddin. Hello, Nuruddin. Can you hear me? Well, unfortunately, we've lost him on the line there. We'll try and raise him for some updates on this particular case and get some details as well for you. You're watching JoyNews today with me, Benis Abubedu.